We're going to take a look at the mechanics of strumming on the guitar. If you go into a music store, you'll find almost no books on how to strum. It's not something people like to teach because it's generally something people do not like to learn. It's a pretty dry topic, but we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of getting started on strumming, sort of like a strumming 101. If we think about the two most popular time signatures, they would be 4/4 time and 3/4 time. 3/4 time a little bit less popular than 4/4. 4/4 is considered such a common time signature that its symbol on much of the music you'll see is a capital C, which stands for common time. So if we're counting to 4 and we want to work on our strumming, the best thing we can do is to manage our strumming with a metronome. I have my metronome set to 71, and we're going to take a look at different kinds of strums, like whole note strums, half note, quarter, eighth, triplet, and 16th strums, and then how to build strum patterns out of that and how to interpret the strum patterns that are put in front of us in songs. So if we think about a bar of music being a 4 count, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with a metronome going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if I mute the strings, we don't even think about a chord being necessary, because we'd be on that chord for a long time. We would just be able to play a whole note, and that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If we move into doing half notes, then instead of there being 4 ticks strum and then 3 ticks afterwards, adding up to 4 strums for that, or 4 counts for that bar, they'd be half. So there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we count in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If we're looking at quarter notes, then each of these ticks is going to get a strum. This is a very effective exercise to work on, because you can ostensibly see that if you hit the strum and say the count right on time, the ticks on the metronome should disappear behind the sound of us hitting that and counting. If we can still hear the tick, it's likely we're ahead or behind the metronome strum, which means that we don't have an accurate strum pattern for referencing to the metronome. So counting it in, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's a couple of those you could hear the ticks around my strum, so I should work on that. All right, so eighth notes, we're going to strum 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for each strum, we're going to have a down strum and an up strum for each tick. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, let's count in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. The next subdivision is triplets. So for each of the ticks, we're going to have triplet. So there's two ways to count it, an old way and a new way. The old way is to count triplet, 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 triplet. Leaning on the first subdivision of the three, dividing the beat into three equal parts, triplet, and that's the old way of counting it. You'll still see lots of YouTube videos where people are counting like that, especially the person who's older. For younger people and for a modern context, we count it 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So instead of dividing triplet into a 3-syllable word, we're actually keeping track of the count while we do it. So it's 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Much easier to keep track of where we are in the bar with that kind of accounting system. So it's a much better way. So we're going to use that one. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, sorry, there it is. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So it's a down, up, down for each beat. 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 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 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay. Last we have 16th notes. So that's counted 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now we're splitting each beat up into 4 equal parts. 1, E, and A. So it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, and still 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but now we're counting twice as fast to get 4 units into each beat. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a E and a 4E and a, it's a down up, 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 like that. Down up, 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 down up. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a. Okay. So we think of a strum like that strum that we just did, the 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a, and we consider that each of those units in the strum creates 16 opportunities. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 2E and a 1E and a 1E and a 2 and a 3 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a and 4E and a. So that would be 16 opportunities to strum or not strum during that time. We have 4 different activities we do. One of them is we can play a chord, a strum a chord in that circumstance. We'll say it's on the 1, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. We can have silence during that time, 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E and a 2E. Maybe we strum on the and, or maybe we strum on all the rest of them. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 2E and a 3, like that. We could have a holdover, so we could have a hold, a tie, as it were. So we could have 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2. So essentially, we're not strumming on the 1, but it's the of the 4 is holding over through that. And in each of the locations, each of the 16 locations, we could have any of these things. We could have a percussive during the time. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E, like that. We can also do a couple of other things. We could have a bass note, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E, like that. A little hard to negotiate that one. And any number of things. We could have all of the above. We get percussives, bass notes, strums, holdovers in any number of those locations. So we have strums that are 16 note strums, like the strum for Wonderwall, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. We could count that out, and you could see where there are strums and holds, and that's an interesting thing to take a look at. Excuse me. So that'd be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E, a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2, a 3E and a 4E and a... In funk guitar, you end up with like lots of stops and lots of little percussives, 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2E and 3E and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and 3E and 4, things like that. We have little breaks and things coming in up on the syncopations. And so that's really super handy. When you end up wanting to get out of just strumming mutes and you want to get into strumming chords, then you can do one of two things. You can do a bunch of things, but two of the things you could do was vamps, which are generally 2-chord vamps, are very common, and box patterns, 4-chord patterns that repeat over and over again. So if I was to do a strum like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E. So going from A minor to this F major 7, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E. And I have a little open thing I'm doing in between as well. Kind of made that up on the go, but that's kind of just a lead up into that the next chord change. If I did a box pattern, that could be a D, D to G to C to D to C, add 9 to G, 9 to C, add 9, D to C, add 9, G to C, add 9. And I can have different strum patterns for each one of those, or I could use the same strum pattern, and just by the very nature of the chords being different, end up with a different outcome. Working with the metronome is absolutely essential to being able to play in time and create groove. A lot of people say groove is king, and it is. If you're playing something, the simplest thing played in time is more effective than a complex thing that's played out of time, or a simple thing that's played out of time. Playing in time is like one of those essential ingredients, base level ingredients of your playing. Playing in time and playing in tune, playing in key, two things that are really valuable. Putting riffs into your chord strum pattern can be really effective too. The riff and the chord together are having a bit of a conversation, And putting them together can be an interesting way to work on your strumming as well. Using a metronome during that time, 71's a little slow for something want to sound like that. And just work on getting your timing for that to work out. Metronome can be super handy. Playing along with tracks can be handy as well. Okay, hope that's helpful.